going to be looking at mainly Matthew 16, verse 17 and 18. While you are just going there, I really encourage you to, if you know how to use a Bible at church, use your own Bible. It's always good to know where things are in the Bible. It's always good to feel the fingers going to the page. If you're one of those that have your Bible on your cell phone, that's great. It's always good to feel you doing this. But I really want you guys to start knowing where things lie in the Bible. Matthew 16, 17 to 18. And what we're going to do is we finish that series that we were looking at designing your life. And next time now we're going to start a new series looking at the parables that Jesus spoke to his disciples, understanding them a bit better. But you often see yourself reading a parable and scratching your head and going, what is that about? Well, hopefully we're going to be able to understand some of the parables in a better way. So we're going to be doing that, and hopefully that will lead us closer to Easter time. But what I want you to do is once a month, I want us to focus a bit more on the vision of the church. And every year I sit normally around November and of the previous year, and I work out and just spend some time with the Lord and say, oh, okay, where do you want this church to move in this year? And it might be like an old sort of cliche, or everyone is using it, but we're in the year 2020, and you know that if the optometrist says to you, you've got a 2020 vision, it means you can see, well, the dark, the sunlight, the dark glass is far away, close by 2020 vision. So I want us to adopt that idea of 2020 vision for us as a church, but I'm going to divide the year into hindsight, looking back, insight, looking now, and foresight, as in what's going to be happening in the future with regards to the church. And one of the things that we say in the church is that we are in the heart of time with the time at heart. But are we? Physically, maybe we are, but are we acting out as if we do have the most important things we've got people in time? I want to start by talking about this whole concept, and I want to look at, especially to look at what we often say, everyone is welcome to this church, nobody is perfect and expect the unexpected. You sort of look at it every time you come to church, and you should look at it, you should remember it. And years back, I was invited to a dinner party, and in that dinner party there was a very well-educated, well-meaning woman who sat next to me. I've never met her in my life, and I could see she was some kind of an executive and so on. And she says to me, I hear you are entering the ministry. And I literally was just ordained maybe 2 weeks prior to meeting this woman. And she said, I hear you entering into the ministry. And I said to her, yeah, I am. And she said to me, well, what was it your own idea that you entered into the ministry? Or were you fully advised to go into the ministry? Now, the answer that I gave her was that it was not an idea at all. Neither was it mine or anyone else's advice. It was more like a lump in my throat. It was more like an itchiness in my feet. It was more like a stirring in my blood that led me to enter into the ministry. Scripture says, come unto me, where Jesus says, come unto me all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you a high and driven peace. I will give you a purpose worth living for and a hope worth dying for. I mean, think about those words that he said. Often we say, come unto me all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you peace. But it's more than just peace. It's this high-driven peace. It's this purpose. It's this thing that's worth dying for. It's this thing that's worth pursuing. It is all expressed, if you think about it, it's all expressed in the church, isn't it? The church is his idea, his legacy, his family. Somehow his presence on earth should be through his church. Think about it. Where else can people go to learn the value of every single human life made in God's image? We spoke about it in God's image. The offer of forgiveness of sin. Where else would you be spoken to about the forgiveness of your sin? That no matter what, God forgives you. Where else would you get the promise of the resurrection? Where else would you hear about the demands of God's holiness and justice? The triumph of God's ultimate purpose? Where else than in the church? So I want to talk to you about the beauty of the church. Our church in particular. St. Columbus Presbyterian Church. If you are a visitor, then you chose a good time to come. Because we're going to tell you a little bit about our church in particular. And I want to know, why is it better for us to be a part of this plan and part of this purpose that God has for us? And I want to start by taking you back to the very first conversation in history about the church. A lot of people don't know where this idea came from, but one day Jesus was with his disciples and he asked his disciples, who do they think that he is? And Peter says to him, you're the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus blesses Peter. Now, this will not be an unusual thing to do. Rabbis in that day would often bless their students for getting the right answer. But what Jesus goes on to say would have come as a great surprise to the disciples, the students, to Peter. He says to him, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, the rock. And on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome the church. And yes, we know the scripture, but we so try to box this scripture. And there's so much more here that is happening. One scholar says this last statement is the most discussed verse in many, many circles of theology or churches. It's the most discussed paragraph in the entire Gospel of Matthew. I will build my church. The disciples' first response would have been, well, what's a church? What's a church? Because this is the first time that we ever see this word church. Not just in the Bible, but in human history. This word has never been used before. No religious leader has ever heard or used anything like this. Moses never said, I'm going to build my synagogue. Buddha didn't say, I'm going to build my temple. Muhammad did not say, I'm going to build my mosque. In ancient world, there were tribal religions, there were philosophical schools or schools of thought, there was wisdom tradition. This was different. Jesus was saying he was going to build an all-inclusive community of love that would not just tolerate but embrace every gender, every ethnicity, every nationality, every culture, every language, every status, that would make a family of enemies, like slaves versus free, or Jews versus Gentiles, or Roman versus barbarians. He was going to build a community that would have its mission, not the enriching of its own members, but sacrificing of himself for the enrichment of other people. That's the community that he was going to build, that would actually bless the oppressors. They would do this with humility, that would bow to honor as most demands of. Do you understand? Not only had nothing like this has ever been in existence before, And your task was to create a movement that would live for thousands of years, that would launch more hospitals, more research universities, more relief organizations, and inspire more arts than any in human history, that would spread to every continent, every culture, that this movement will attract billions of followers, and not only still exists, but growing 2,000 years later. What would you do? What would be your first step? Jesus, the carpenter, whatever you think of him, as a matter of history, he did this. He loved, and he taught, and he healed, and he died on an unforgettable cross. And they say that he was resurrected. This passage is the first time the disciples get a glimpse of how big Jesus is and his identity. Truly, they say, truly, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Now they are ready for the first glimpse of how big his project is going to be on earth. This project is a church. That's it. That's the whole thing. Jesus is putting all of his eggs in the church's basket. And he's going to do this through you. He's going to do that there through them, but he's going to continue doing his work through you. I'm sure their heads must have exploded. They did not sign up for this church building business, did they? They signed up for the rabbi following business. A lot of guys sign up for that, and you learn the Torah, you learn the first 5 books of the Bible, you follow the rules, you attract a nice life, you raise a nice family, and you just live out that Christian world. But build something no one had ever heard of, sacrifice time, sacrifice money, sacrifice energy. You might have people laughing at you. You might be running a risk, get persecuted, have to go all around the world, go to jail because of it, and end up being martyred. I mean, hey, Peter, was this your idea, or were you badly advised? And like this woman martyred. I mean, here's the thing. This is a chance of a lifetime. This is worth living for, worth dying for. This man catching fish or collecting taxes or living to make money or gain security or make a name for yourself or build a resume look small in comparison. There are a couple of keys for us to notice. Who is the church? Who is the church going to belong to? Jesus says, I'm going to build my church. He didn't say I'm going to build some churches. He didn't say I'm going to build Peter's church and Andrew's church and Thomas' church for those who doubt things, and Zacchaeus' church for those who are small and short. He didn't say that. He said, I'm going to build my church. We are Jesus' church. We love him, we study him, we follow him, we point others to him, and we have one purpose: to help people find and follow this man Jesus. Because there has never been anybody like him. So who is this church? Who is going to build Jesus' church? Because Jesus says, I will build my church. Jesus claimed he will be on this. I was thinking, if you've been around churches much, have you ever noticed how messed up churches can get? You're not perfect. Hey, I'm not perfect. None of my colleagues in the ministry are perfect. So how does the church keep on going? Because Jesus is the one who built it. And often he's building it in secret, in those unseen places at the margins, through poors in the spirit, through those who mourn, through those who are uneducated, through an unpaid volunteer who nobody but Jesus thinks is important when he or she volunteers to do something in the church. How powerful is the church going to be? Extremely powerful. The expression, the gates of Hades, is how ancient people would talk about ultimate human enemies. Death itself. Jesus' remarkable confidence about his church. He doesn't say when the forces of hell are unleashed, the gates of the church will be able to keep it up. No. He says when the forces of the church are unleashed, the gates of hell will not be able to keep the church out. Come on. When the forces of the church are unleashed, have the forces of this church been unleashed? You guys got gifts that you maybe don't even know about. But God has given it to you. Not to put on the shelf and say, well, thank you, Jesus, I've got a spiritual gift. He's given it to you to unleash so that the gates of hell will not prevail against you, your family, your community, your business, this town, this province, this country, because of you. He's saying, guys, the church is on the march now with a force like no one has ever seen before. With love and mercy and grace and compassion and forgiveness, justice, generosity, truth, humility. And it's been unleashed. It should be unleashed in such a way that the gates of Hades will tremble before them. Will tremble before them. The darkness is going down. Doesn't look like it, does it? Eh? Is darkness going down? I'm not talking about the load shedding. Is darkness going down around us? Look in this town. Who's prevailing? Hell is prevailing. This shouldn't happen. Who's not feeling well today? Who's prevailing? You? Church? Hell? Heaven? Look in this darkness. Darkness is all around us. You're irritated with the municipality. Do something about it. 12 disciples did something about it against the Roman Empire. That not even a few hundred years later, the Roman Empire became Christian because 12 people, fishermen, tax collectors, said, the gates of hell will not prevail against us. We're not going to accept this. We're not going to stand for this. What would this church be like? This church thing that nobody had ever heard of, that nobody had ever thought of. Jesus begins to teach and model three great truths about humanity, the humanity and all of that. And it's actually great truth that if you realize that we are actually saying those things. The first great truth that Jesus models and taught us through Jesus is that everyone is welcome. Only certain people were allowed into the temple. We're allowed to come before God, and others were not so much. They even had courts for the Gentiles. Sorry, you have to stay there. You can't come into this court. There was even a court for the woman. The women were not allowed to mix with the men. Walking before God, there was not such a thing. If there is one characteristic about Jesus, it was his signature that scandalized everyone. It was he, this great rabbi, would love, would embrace, would include, would talk with, touch anybody who would come to him. Jews, Gentiles, Samaritans, lepers, unclean, beggars, slaves, tax collectors, Roman soldiers, prostitutes, demon-possessed, they were all welcome. He was so famous about this, even his opponent acknowledged it. One man was trying to trap Jesus and say to him, Teacher, we know that you are sincere and teach the way of God in accordance with the truth and show difference to no one. Jesus was in knowledge of that, and he says to him, this man welcomes sinners and eats with them. He's saying to Jesus, man is he? And in a way, if you think about it, that's what got him killed. In fact, in the Gospel of Luke, his last recorded conversation before he died was not with the saint. It was not with the follower. It was with a criminal. It was with a thief who was hanging on a cross next to him, who just said to him in his dying moment, he said, Jesus, remember me. And Jesus says, okay, you two, you are in. You're with me. As a matter of fact, we will walk into heaven together. It's like he couldn't help himself, even when he was dying, where he needed help himself. Jesus couldn't help himself. This is his community. See, often not, we don't think that way, do we? After he died, a strange thing happened to his community again. Wherever you may think about this community, the ancient world didn't regard slaves as anything. But this community welcomed this slave. The ancient world had little use for the poor. But in this little community that was growing, called the church, they remembered that Jesus said in Luke chapter 6, blessed are the poor. They remember Jesus once told a rich young ruler to sell everything and give it to the poor. They welcomed the poor so much that the Roman Empire, who once opposed Christianity, years later was the very one that was spreading Christianity. This new community that was unprecedented in its growth was saying there is no Jew, nor Greek, nor slave, nor free, male or female, no barrier, no hostility, for all are in one. All are one in Christ. So let me ask you a question. Who's welcome here in our church?
Everyone.
Everyone. So that means poor and rich, black and white, young and old, atheist, agnostic, skeptic, Buddhist, Muslim, Christians, straight, gay, lesbian, depressed, happy, married, single, divorced, those who got it all together, those who their life is falling apart, are they welcome in this church? Careful. Be careful, because the Lord is going to test you. The Lord is going to bring those people. So remember what He said, it's recorded. If you come today because you love Jesus, if you came here under protest because somebody else loved Jesus and you couldn't get it out of yourself, if you came because you are depressed and you are desperate for help and not sure where else to look, it's not an accident that you're here. It was Jesus who came. If you're a follower of Jesus and this is your church, that means that like Jesus, you have a heart that says, welcome to everyone who comes into this church, who comes into my life. Everybody is welcome in your neighborhood, at work, in the queues in the shop. No matter who you are, if I say that, then I mean it. The second thing is that we often say nobody is perfect. Jesus proclaimed it, clarified it in His day. In God's eyes, in God's care, nobody is perfect. And this is very important because religious community, including Christians, have a way of dividing people up into good guys and bad guys, as outsiders and outsiders. But if we say nobody is perfect, what does it mean about ourselves? We often forget where we came from. He once put it like this: no one is good except God alone. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So in this new community, no hiding, no pretending, no impressing anyone, no reputation building. When you go to work, you have to look strong. When you go to school or university, you have to look smart. You are putting this mask on, but it means if no one is perfect, you don't have to clean yourself up. Jesus cleans you up. That's His job. He come not because we don't need Him, but because we do. He sang about it. Oh, I need you, Jesus, how I need you. It doesn't matter how long we've been following Him, we always need Him. And we always need Him to clean us up. We always need Him to clean us up. Jesus said one time, all we like sheep have gone astray. All of us have gone astray. So everybody is welcome, and no one is perfect, and the third truth is expect the unexpected. Jesus modeled and proclaimed, especially with the coming of the Holy Spirit. After He has ascended into heaven, He's expected the unexpected to come in, because anything is possible through Him. Again, this truth comes right from Jesus. He was talking with His disciples about how hard it is for a rich to be saved. And they were stunned because they thought, as people tend to do, of course, being rich means you are blessed by God. So they asked, well, if the rich people can't be saved, who can? Jesus said, with human beings it is impossible, but not with God. With God, all things are possible. You see this when He starts the church. Remember, He said He's going to build it on the rock. That's Simon. The other disciples are thinking, really? You're going to build a church on Peter? Simon Peter? You mean that Peter who leapt out of the boat and sank in the water because he didn't have enough faith in you? You're going to build your church on that Peter? The Peter who Jesus was just about to say, get behind me, Satan, because Peter could have not stopped keeping quiet. That Peter, the Peter who could not even stay awake to pray with Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane before His crucifixion. That Peter, Jesus, you're going to build your church on that Peter, the Peter who prayed, well, Jesus, if anyone else denies you, I'm not going to deny you. And then He denies you not once, not twice, but 3 times. You're going to build your church on someone who denies you. Peter, who tried to leap to Jesus' defense by grabbing a soldier's sword and cutting his ear off, and Jesus had to catch it up and apologize for Peter. That Peter is going to be the rock. Really? Well, anything is possible. And if you expect the unexpected, then the Holy Spirit comes. And Peter stands up and preaches, and thousands of people follow Jesus. A greedy tax collector named Zacchaeus will come as a poster boy for generosity. That's a miracle. A 5-time married, shacked-up Samaritan woman will become Jesus' first designated preacher. That's a miracle. The church's greatest enemy, Saul, will become its greatest champion, Paul, and change the course of human history. That's a miracle. And the church goes on and on and on and on. Because on this rock, I will build my church. I want you to watch a little clip that was made about the 150 years anniversary of this church. So I want you to just watch this.
The story of St. Columbus starts in 1862 when a number of Scottish, Irish and English mechanics arrived in Queenstown. They soon realized that the majority of them were either Presbyterian or Congregationalists and began looking for a possible place of worship and denomination. Correspondence with the Evangelical Voluntary Union in Grahamstown suggested the name of Reverend Wilberforce Phillip from Adelaide. Mr. Phillip did not take long to respond, and on the first Sunday in June 1863 he preached his first sermon in the town hall on the subject, Be Ye Reconciled with Christ. By November 1863 it was felt that the probation for both sides was complete and that the work was full of promise. On 13 November 1863 a congregation was duly constituted by profession of faith and adherence. The first communion service was held on the evening of Tuesday, the 1st December 1863 in the house of Reverend Philip. In 1865, the church building was completed, and in 1868, the manse was purchased. Reverend Philip did not waste any time and started ministering in the wider community. He traveled an estimated 40,000 miles while ministering at Tilted, Tarkastad, Baileytown, Sterkstroom, even as far as Maltina. Mr. Crouch, founder and first deacon of the congregation, was very involved in establishing the colored congregation in Queenstown and building their church. These two gentlemen set the tone for the rest of the history of the congregation, spreading the gospel and later supporting education. In 1905, the Presbyterian Church decided to start an orphanage, and in 1911, again under the leadership of Mr. Crouch, the first orphanage was built. The orphanage served thousands of children through the years. Though there were many highlights and fights through the years, we celebrate the initiative and determination of a couple of people who believed that God had a purpose for them in this town. More than that, today we celebrate the faithfulness of God to sustain the small congregation for 150 years. We thank you for your goodness, Lord.
And one day in 1862, the Irish and Scottish, I don't know how that happened, only God can make the Irish and the Scottish agree on one thing. Men and women in this community got together and they said, hey, what if we start this little outpost of Jesus right in this town called Queenstown? And it did. And they prayed about it, and they gave, and they served, and they loved, and around 1911, the church that started out with only few members was now starting an orphanage that served over 100 kids, that some of whom are in a ministry. Some of my colleagues in the Presbyterian Church who are ministers, either their parents or they themselves were orphans in Queenstown. Some of whom, as I said, ended up in ministry. The congregation went through some really tough times over the years. Then about literally, maybe you know that or you don't, but about 5 years ago there was even a talk from the denomination that wanted to shut this church down because there were only a handful of people years and years later. Because there was only so little people left. Those faithful who were here said, we don't think so. We think anything is possible, and we're going to expect the unexpected. They could have had no idea that because of their faithfulness, that we are looking at building onto the church, our building project. But now, it's ours. That's what they did. They gave us a legacy. But it's our turn. And you might be exploring faith, you might be just checking our church out, and that's great. Thank you for giving us that honor. Thank you for being here. And I hope that to see more of you if you're visiting. But if you follow Jesus and this is your church home, I'm asking you to pray. I'm asking you to get into a community, get into a real relationship. Don't just be a chronic visitor. Well, I've been to church once a month, that's okay. Don't just be a pure warmer. Because you know I call this church beds in winter. Don't just come here to make sure you warm. Get involved. I'm asking you to roll up your sleeves and serve in some volunteer capacity. Because God has gifted you. He's given you a gift. Some of you, He's given you more than one gift. People need what is in you to serve them with. And you have a need to be used for others. I'm asking you to trust God enough to be generous with your finance and your tithe 10% right off the top. Because at the moment, financially, this church is struggling. I'm telling you like it is. Because some of us don't quite understand the concept of tithing. And we need you to understand. We need you. If you're not tithing yet, we need you to come before the Lord and say, Lord, teach me to focus on you. Teach me to trust you with my finance. Because you need to know that you cannot outgive God. I'm asking you to do this in that anything is possible. Expect the unexpected Spirit of Jesus. Because the things that He's still building His church. And as much as you need me, I need you. We need you. This community needs you. That's what I'm asking you. Do you realize what Jesus talked about 2,000 years ago? You guys are doing what should be doing. So what if we prayed and served and dreamed and gave and loved, and God just keeps building His church because anything is possible? What if someday, by God's grace, everybody in Queenstown Komani goes to church, not only to this church, we're not the only church in town. And I know that other ministers are servants of God, and they serve God in a different kind of way, but they serve God, they love God. What if everyone in Komani, Queenstown, went to church? How about that? What if you as a congregation cheered and loved and cared for the community, and we came to realize that we are in the heart of time, with the time at heart, and we start making a difference in this beautiful time, because it's beautiful. Maybe it takes an outsider to realize how beautiful it is. But I believe it's beautiful. It is a beautiful time. Even with all the potholes, no electricity and no water, it's still a beautiful time. What if you love those people so much that this became a church that was like a magnet, that where gifted adults and teenagers, young and old, would say, I don't care so much about your money, I don't care so much about building a resume, I don't care so much about the security, but I give my right arm to be a part of building His church. What if Queenstown Komani, which is one part of our country that has experienced a revival many years ago, what if it could experience a revival again? Not a one-time emotionally led, temporary, I feel happy, Jesus, hallelujah, that kind of stuff. No. But a biblical ground, a chronic lasting movement of Jesus, where it will turn back the time of people and will bring people into Christ and transform them. Imagine what this time will look like. It is His church. He thought it up. He created it. He authorized it. He resourced it when He had nothing. He launched it when there was no idea of it. He continues to superimprint it on us. And He wants you now to be the hands and the feet and the voice. So as we look back, what has happened? The dream that these few had about this little church. And if you want to see the pictures, just come out by the tea coffee, these pictures of what this church looked like. They had to really break it down and build this church that we're sitting at around the 50s. Believe it or not, they had to break it down. One of the reasons was because it was too small. What? I can just imagine being the minister there with the elders sitting around and says, Pastor, we've got a problem. Well, we have to break the church. Why do we have to break the church? Isn't the maintenance committee doing what they're supposed to do? No, we need the maintenance committee, we need them to bring the staff members, and we're going to break this church. Why? Because we've got no space. Oh, I would love to hear that. And you know what? It's possible. We have more resources now than they had in 1862. I will build my church on the rock, and the gates of hell will not prevail. Amen?
Amen.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this church. We thank you for St. Columbus Presbyterian Church. And we thank you for the church in this world. There's never been anything like it. Thank you for the dreams and all of humanity gathered together. No barriers, no separation, nobody left out. The cloud, the triumph, and the cross, and the suffering of your love, the compassion, the generosity, the service of Jesus, and the core of our great and glad joy and generosity. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you for this church, for your church. Help every one of us who follow you be a part of it and do something great. And I pray that we all will leave here saying, I'm in, I'm going to help build this church as best as we can. And I pray this in your name, that everybody is welcome. Nobody is perfect. Lord, we are expecting the unexpected. Pray together this. And everybody said,
Amen.
Amen.